Welcome back to the Michigan's Business Elite Podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Jackson, here at Kemner Ayed Insurance in Cassopolis. And today I have a young man here who is a man of many hats. I've known his family for quite some time, and it's an absolute pleasure to have him in the building, having a conversation with me. Today I have Mr. Carter Surach. Carter, how about you kind of take the floor? Who are you? What do you do? And what got you to where you're at?
Awesome. Thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate it. It's cool because I feel like we see each other a lot from a digital perspective. Mm-hmm. We're both on Facebook a lot, like doing things over there. We're both on YouTube, so I see you all the time. But fortunately, we're kind of here in person for once, so that's really cool. So what I do is I run a marketing agency called Greenline Media, and it's funny because I used to call myself a marketing agency, but for the most part, it was just me running all the services. It was, I was a freelancer. Recently, I've actually transitioned to now where I have 2 to 3 team members at any given moment who are other freelancers around the world who are helping me remotely. So the business is evolving right now, and really our focus is just to try to focus on a North Star. A lot of times I think people that run a business, they try to do a ton of different things, mm-hmm. right? And they try to throw everything at a wall and see what sticks. But what we've really been trying to do is narrow down what we're good at and what we want to be known for, I think. Because I used to do anything. I have people that would hire me to do I do videos, I do creative work, graphic design, photography, and things like that. I'd build websites, I do just about anything, social media management, running ads, media buying, things like that. So what we've really narrowed it down to at this point is we pretty much have it down to we just build websites and we send traffic to them to get people new customers or new leads. Mm-hmm. And that's really what the business is centered around. And it's really allowed us to get better case studies too, better results, and really just be more proud of our work because we're able to really put all our chips there and do a really good job at that. Does that
mm-hmm.
make sense?
Mm-hmm. Well, especially this day and age, there's a lot of, in your field, it's pretty cutthroat. I mean, mm-hmm. there's a lot of people that, if you, we see the Facebook ads, we see the YouTube ads, mm-hmm. let me supercharge your social network, or, let me blow ClickFunnels out of the water. Let me show you how. Let me show you how I did it. Give me $97 and I'll teach you this class.
Yeah.
What kind of sets you apart from most of those folks are a joke anyway, but is someone that's very professional in what they do? What separates you from pretty much the rest of the field?
Well, first and foremost, I think when you look at the industry as a whole, you mentioned a lot of the make money online type crowd that you see on YouTube ads and Facebook ads. It's tempting to want to send yourself in that direction because it seems like it's a shiny object, right? Mm-hmm. It's something you look at and it kind of idolize it because you're thinking, oh man, I wish I could have that car. I wish I could have this or that.
Right.
I think what in the digital marketing industry, it's kind of cloudy. It's kind of clouded with stuff like that. So what you really want to do is try to start focusing more on just your product and just your customer experience and even the little things like understanding how often a client wants to be in contact with you, or understanding okay, do they want me to contact them every day and report to them, or do they just want me to go to work, come to them every month, little things like that. And really I think what sets my agency apart is the systems that we've built at our agency. We have an amazing onboarding system. I think it's some of the one of the best onboarding systems in the industry, just because it's so quick and easy for somebody to, after we close them, they are basically already in and they're already part of our agency. We have everything that we need to make them successful. It takes less than an hour to get this thing set up, and for a lot of agencies it takes days just to get somebody into the business, into their system and get their ads running and all of that. So that's one thing. And then just other systems that just make it more efficient. I would say our reporting is pretty automated, and it tells our customers everything that they need to know when it comes to how their ads are performing, and the bottom line is they want to see an ROI. They want to see their money working for them. So that's what we can show them through the reporting as well. So I would say that's what separates us. And also right now it's just, we're pretty small. So the personal touch, of course, too, because
Absolutely.
For competitors, we're going up against like big marketing agencies. And that's something that we can really stand out with is you're going to get a personal touch. You're going to get 110%. Mm-hmm. We're not just following a list of deliverables.
Right.
We're really trying to do some great stuff for you guys. So that's really, I think, what sets us apart.
Very nice. Very nice. We kind of started to talk about clients and whatnot. And before we started recording, you and I were having a conversation where I told you that I was pretty excited about this conversation because it's different than every conversation I have is unique, obviously, but everyone that I've had a conversation with up until now has been, everyone that watches this podcast can benefit from some way, shape, or form, right, from the service that the other person offers. Whereas you're kind of geared more towards the people I'm interviewing, or having a conversation. And from what I've gathered in the feedback, just as little or short amount of time as we've had the show, is there's a lot of business owners that are watching it, and they want to know how they can get on it. And so to bring someone in your field on is beneficial to them.
Yep.
And not so much Susie down the road, but if someone that owns their own business, has any kind of entrepreneurial drive, that's where you shine.
Right.
So with that being said, anyone in sales or anyone that owns their own business has, if we sit back and paint a perfect picture of our perfect client, our quote unquote perfect client, what would that picture look like for you?
Perfect client. I think about this a lot because I like to think that, like, since I'm a digital marketer, I can just help anybody become like a sensation online, and I can really like just blow anything up that we need to. We can make anything go viral, but that's just it's just very, very far from the truth. And anybody that tells you that that's possible is they're crazy, because you need a good base in a business before you start marketing it. Like, you need to amplify something that's already working most of the time. And we run like grassroots campaigns where a startup is like just getting started and they need to get their name out there. But if a company like that comes to me, I'm not going to promise them any sort of like leads or any sort of actual customers. I can promise them that we'll get them in front of people, and we'll do our best, and we'll write, the best copy, and we'll have the best creatives in front of people. But what I can't promise them is like, hey, if you've never got customers, then I can't promise you that this is going to get you customers, because oftentimes our most successful customers are the ones who, our most successful clients, I should say, are the ones who have already established themselves as like a business that's, proven, they have a proven concept for their product or service. Those are who do the best with us. Those are the types of clients that I like to see, are the ones who are already established in the community and they're doing well. Because really what we're doing is we're just adding fuel to a fire. Mm-hmm. That's really the way I look at it.
And kind of piggybacking what you were saying, even in what I do, mm-hmm. a lot of times there's an old quote, under promise, over deliver. A client is more excited.
I love that quote.
And instead of promising them the world, the moon and the stars, and nothing gets off the ground, just be realistic and under promise. And when something does blow up, they're going to be your best advertising, because they're going to be telling everyone.
Definitely.
And I was actually really interested to see where you would go on this, because being a digital marketer, you're always looking at audiences. Mm-hmm. Where are you? Who's going to benefit the most from this ad copy? This creative, whatever. And so I was actually kind of really interested to hear your response on that. So that was really cool.
Well, that's definitely that's what marketing is really all about. It's not like knowing how to press like some buttons on a fancy software or anything mm-hmm. like that. It's really just about researching and getting in the shoes of the audience that you are advertising to.
Yeah, I mean it's just like you said, getting in the shoes of the buyer.
The first thing we always ask our clients is like, how would your potential client like speak? like what are the sort of things that they would say, what are the pain points that they have, what drives them to buy. Because if we don't know that, then like I'm not going to run a marketing campaign for someone without knowing those things, because it's not going to be successful. And oftentimes you even have to go and speak directly to those people. It's not as simple as just like guessing. You have to literally go out, have a coffee with your customers and learn about them.
And I think to kind of expand on that, when small businesses, especially nowadays, if you have a business account, you can run Facebook ads. And a lot of folks are like, oh, Facebook ads are bullshit. They don't work. They do work. You just need to know which audiences and which ad copy is going to work for said audience. And you hit the nail right on the head. Which copy are you going to put in there that's going to resonate, how they speak, their mannerisms, their habits. And on top of that, if you do a video ad, you have to create it around, that culture which you're trying to sell.
Exactly.
And for, I'm sure you see them just as well as I do, like, man, I really hate to see how much this person wasted on this stupid Facebook ad, because first of all, if I'm seeing insurance ads, you're running your ads wrong. Yeah. You're wasting your marketing dollars, putting it in front of someone that's not going to be a client. Right. And I'm sure that's where someone like you comes in, that, deep dives into that. Who are we exactly targeting? What is your, because you have to ask the question to your clients, who is your perfect client? Paint that picture for me. Just like you said, how do they talk? What are their mannerisms? What are they into?
Exactly.
Are they sports fans? Are they equestrian fans? Are they gardening fans? That's something you need to know to wrap your whole marketing strategy around. So for all those small business owners out there that are saying, well, I've tried Facebook ads and they suck, I'm pretty sure you and I will both agree that you're not doing it correctly. And that's no fault of your own by any means.
Oh no, it's not easy, but Facebook ads are just going to amplify what you're already doing and who you already are.
Absolutely.
Right? If you get in front of more people, it's just going to expose you even more, I feel like. So it's not that it's not the Facebook ads that aren't working. They're just showing people more of what you're already doing. So if you're like already an amazing business and you're already getting like quite a few customers and people are showing interest, shouting out your results, like shouting out your case studies, shouting out, how you've helped people, like that's going to attract people if other people are already interested.
Yep. And then especially if you're working with a business that has had success with Facebook ads in the past, you can do lookalike audiences. I mean, you can drop pixels. I mean, there's a million different things that if you're really not versed in it, I mean, let's be honest, it's a skill. It really is. It's a skill. A lot of people can run these like art forms. Yeah. And for, Sally's Diner, that's trying to draw business in with Facebook ads, unless you really know what you're doing, it can be a waste of money. Yeah. So there's definitely value in kind of knowing what you're doing, but a lot of, you can probably attest to this too, a lot of marketing is trial and error as well.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure. It's a constant evolution. Like from the point that I start working with somebody or the point that I work on a marketing campaign for myself, it's like, it's an evolution, right? It changes over time and we refine. Like that's really what it's all about in the digital age, because you can run like tons of different ads and you can put tons of variation into Facebook's system, meaning like I could put 100 ads in there, and that's really what you want to be doing. You want to be putting as much as you can in there so that you can see what works best based on the data.
Split testing.
That's what I love about it, man. Like it's a big experiment all the time.
Absolutely. And then you take the fluidity of Facebook itself. The dynamic is changing day to day, and they're, I remember when I first started doing Facebook ads. I mean, you could get an insurance ad to 25 to 30 year old married man with 2 kids that drives Ford F-150 that lives in this area, this zip code, that makes over $250,000 a year. Now it's a little bit different, but I've been looking into Google ads, because Google is still like that. I mean, hell, you can target people that come off of certain web page.
Exactly.
So if someone's searching on one of your competitors, you run an ad to that person that just came from that.
Right.
And I haven't gotten too far into that, but it's definitely something that, ran correctly, I could see being a big value to someone's business.
Google's platform is really a solid platform because what they're doing is, if you think about it, like people's search history is like deeper and darker than anything they would ever go out and like
Especially
post
mine.
on Facebook.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Absolutely.
you can really learn a lot about someone based on what they're typing into Google. So when Google's tracking that and advertisers can put ads in front of you based on what your searches are, like that's one of the best places you can be as an advertiser. I don't know, like ethically what that looks like, but regardless, like with all these changes happening with like the whole Cambridge Analytica thing that happened with Facebook, they had to like cut out a lot of their interest targeting and things like that. The truth is, it just levels the playing field down. It just, I mean, it's not like other people have a better advantage over you. It's like everybody's gonna have to deal with the changes. So yeah, it's nice when you have those better targeting features, but it's also like the best marketers are going to win if all of these features get taken away because everybody has to deal with those limitations.
Forces you to be more creative.
Exactly. Yep.
Forces you to be more creative. Well, we've kind of talked a little, a lot about, kind of what you do, but in any business, any salesperson, we all have to overcome hurdles in our career. And what's the biggest hurdle that you've had to overcome so far?
Hurdle, I would say, probably just myself. Like, I'm sure that's a common answer, or maybe not. I found though that the most growth I've had has come from like just realizing that I'm in my own way. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And it's really nobody else. Like, you have to really internalize that if you want to be a good business owner and you want to like succeed, because if you're blaming something on somebody else or the wind or what the weather's like today, you're not gonna be successful because it's out of your control. But if you can just like internalize the fact that it's on me and like I can do something about it, then I think that's the biggest thing. And more specifically, I know that was kind of like a high level way to answer the question, but more specifically, I would say one of the biggest hurdles was just like, I'm pretty young, right? I'm 21 years old right now. So as I've developed this business over the past 2.5 years, and I would say I was still developing it, I just didn't know it throughout my high school years too. But over the past 2.5 years, just like growing this business, I've balanced it out well, but like I have questioned myself at times, like, was it the wrong choice to just, because I went to college for a while, but I ended up dropping out. Was it the wrong choice to drop out? Not because it's college, but just because like I could be like having fun with my friends, you know what I'm saying? So I'd say that's a big hurdle. And also just self-belief. And like I said, just getting in your own way.
And that's a hurdle that a lot of people, I mean, face day to day. You said you're 21. There's people that, I mean, at any age, and one of the things that got me, kind of brought me out of my shell, started the podcast, started these YouTube channels, was
So cool.
Sean Cannell. He does Think Media.
Oh, yeah.
And if you guys are into any, they do tutorials, they do tech, he shows you how to build your YouTube page. And one of the things, like his big tagline is just press record. Things don't have to be perfect.
Yep.
The more practice you get at something, the better you're going to be.
Get there as you go.
Yep. And because if you look at any business, no one hit the ground running, making 9 figures a year. Everyone started from dirt, and you build. You obviously have to build as you go. So, and one of the things that I've been preaching lately is, when it comes to making content, it doesn't have to be perfect.
No.
I think everyone is, hung up on the especially Instagram. Everyone wants their, take 3 hours to edit one picture on Photoshop to upload.
The viewers don't want perfect either.
No.
They really don't. Dude, when I was like first starting my business, I thought I had to wear I went out and bought like a whole new wardrobe. I was like, oh man, I gotta wear like a dress shirt and a tie every day now. But like, I mean, I'm wearing a t-shirt and jeans now. This is how I dress every day.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
if especially someone in your
In my niche.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand that.
Look
There's
at
some
Gary
niches,
Vee.
but oh yeah.
look at Gary Vee. He wears hoodies
Yeah.
and jeans every day, or V-necks and jeans every day,
Mm-hmm.
and the dude's a billionaire.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm sure there will be some clients that prefer working with people like that.
Of course.
And it's kind of the same thing, where like here I wear a polo and khakis,
Yeah.
and I've also met people after work, or after hours I should say, and met them at their house, and I knew they'd be more comfortable with
You were
me,
casual.
in a hoodie and jeans.
Okay.
And I've also went out,
You got to feel it out for
yeah.
sure. For sure. I know that feeling.
We had an agent here. She retired, but she would go on some of her calls, and she had muck boots because she would go visit farmers. And
with insurance, that's big, right?
Yeah.
You want to kind of fit into your crowd,
Mhm.
when you're going out to those meetings. You want to feel like them.
I've always told people that I will, if you want to be sold over the phone, I'll sell you over the phone. If you want to be
Mhm.
sold in person, I'll sell you in person. I've actually closed insurance policies on Snapchat. I will close you however you want to feel comfortable. I have no problem doing that, and it's the same. Like you if you make your customers gravitate more towards you, you're gonna have a better client.
I think trust is the biggest thing,
Mhm.
right? Like you just got to get them to trust you. If
Absolutely.
they trust you, if they feel like you have the best intentions for them, then they don't care
No.
about anything else. I don't think.
No. Nope, I 100% agree with you. Well, Mr. Carter, how can people find you?
Best place to find me is probably, I would say, just going to my website, greenlinemediasolutions.com. And from there, you can book in a free call with me, free 30-minute call. Super non-invasive. Like, I'm not going to try to sell you on anything if I don't think that we can work together. So just head over there, book a call. It's super easy. You just click the button up in the right corner and it'll put you right on my calendar, and you can find a time that works for you.
Perfect. Well, let's get into some lightning round questions.
All right, cool. I'm excited.
And basically, one of the reasons I started this show is to introduce people, business owners, entrepreneurs, to people that they might not get in front of without it.
Sure.
And not only to spotlight them, but for folks to kind of get to know them, kind of pull the curtain back a little bit. And this is more has nothing to do with business. This just has everything to do with you. So
Cool.
to kind of even pull that curtain back even a little bit
I'll
further.
try my best.
Are you an Android or iPhone guy?
iPhone all the way.
Do you prefer Snickers or Kit Kats?
Oh, that's tough. I've been big on Snickers lately. I used to like Kit Kats, but I think Snickers is taking the cake right now.
You are, to be honest with you, you're the only one that agrees with me that Snickers are better than Kit
I
Kats.
used to like Kit Kats like quite a bit.
When I first put this question down, I'm like, oh, I should probably even do this one. Everyone's gonna say Snickers. Nope. Everyone loves Kit Kats.
Snickers right now.
Are you a chips or pretzel guy?
Chips.
Chips. Okay. Cat or dog guy?
You got a phone though.
That's right.
Cat or dog? Dog.
Dog. And to wrap it up, what is one piece of advice that you would give your 14-year-old self?
14-year-old self. I would say like just be more confident and just do more. I would say try more things, because that's like what's gotten me where I am right now. It's just like not being scared, just kind of trying more and doing more. So I would say kind of stop limiting yourself, even though I don't think I did that much, but I think any limitations that you're setting on yourself are just like they're gonna hurt you. So
And the less you limit yourself, the more you're actually going to find something that you thoroughly enjoy.
Yeah.
So, and the paycheck will just be a bonus.
of course.
So
Exactly.
the less everyone says, all right, well, think outside the box. And the guy says there is no box. Well, don't even get close to a box, and just open yourself up and being vulnerable is not a bad position. Sometimes it's a position of learning. You could fail, yes, but every great business owner, salesperson, every great person has failed. We're not perfect. None of us will ever be perfect. So the more imperfect you can be and learn from that, I think it's going to steer you in the right direction to where, like I said, that you won't even care about a paycheck because you love what you do. You love helping people, and you love
It just comes.
Yep.
It will. It really does.
Well, Mr. Carter, well, I want to say thank you for
Thank you.
for joining me in this conversation, and everyone out there listening and watching, I want to thank you for sticking with us. And you're just going to have to see who I bring on next time.